Mazement.
Joining us on CBB and Business Journals today, Mazement, artist and producer. He is a DJ, artist, has been involved in hip-hop, and he's been involved in the music industry for a little bit more than a decade. Mazement, welcome to CBB and Business Journals. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing just great. Looking forward to this interview, and you got a new song out, too. So first we're going to talk about you, and then we're going to talk about life, which is your song, right? So we're going to tell us a little bit about Mazement. Who is Mazement?
I'm an artist from upstate New York. I grew up in northwest corner of Connecticut and started off as a DJ, and later on that evolved into, poetry, which then turned into, writing lyrics and making instrumentals. And, yeah, pretty much just trying to blend any genre together that I've always been passionate about and making it relevant to the industry and what's out there today in the market.
So how would you say you started out? Did you start out by writing poetry? Did you start out by writing songs? How did you start?
The influence started out, in my family, in my blood. My grandfather was a musician and everything, so it was bound to happen at some point that I get influenced to do something with music. But, but my brother actually, my oldest brother, actually influenced me to do DJing because I remember hearing a scratching sound on the radio one time. And he told me what it was, and I started watching TV, figuring out what a DJ was. And it started with DJing first, and then it went into the poetry during that, when I started hearing lyrics and stuff. Looked into it, and I don't know, poetry just came naturally just because I wanted to express myself in some way and didn't really know how to write a song yet.
I get you. I can express myself through poetry, but I don't think I'm a songwriter yet. But tell me this. Not yet, but who knows? But tell me this, Mazement. In looking at your bio, I'm not in the music industry. Tell me one thing. Do you play an instrument, first of all?
No, I dabble with like guitar and keyboard and stuff, but I don't really, unless turntables are considered an instrument, which, everybody has their own opinion about that, but not really any specific. Drumming, I have the rhythm, but I just don't play regularly, so.
But you got a basic understanding of music because of your experience and your family. You have a basic understanding. You know a little bit more than just scratching. Is that right?
Yes. And nowadays a lot of people are considering production on a computer being, an instrument. So, if that's considered an instrument, that's the only one that I'm actually consistently doing, the production side of it.
I get you. I've heard that as well. I was told that it very straight-faced from someone, and I cut that out. It is an instrument, so and I can understand it does produce music, so I guess it is an instrument. But tell me this: I saw a term in your bio, turntablism.
Oh, turntablism, yeah.
Turntablism. Okay, go ahead with that.
Yeah, that's like a DJ term. It's more for like the art of it, like a lot of people look at the DJ and they're like, oh, that's the guy that plays in the club. But then, a lot of DJs focus more on the artistic part of it, like what each scratch is called, like the scribble scratch and stuff like that. And all those elements of DJing, the different tricks and stuff, that's turntablism. It's like it's almost part of the culture,
Oh, my goodness, did I learn something today. Now, there's actually a place in New York called Scratch DJ Academy?
Yes, there's one in California as well.
Ah! That is something. You're listening to Chicago's Black Business Radio. Today's segment is CBB and Business Journals. Our guest today is Mazement, and there is a school called Scratch DJ Academy. Now, DJing and this house music and all of that, it's big in the United States, but I did a press release for Harry Dennis a couple of years ago, and in researching that, it's huge in the UK and Europe. Are you into house music? Oh, yeah.
Well, not the not the house in general, but EDM is the new phase for me. I mean, this song Life, that's my first kind of step into the EDM world, and I'm planning on taking that path for a little while now because I grew passionate about that genre. But it's similar. I mean, there's definitely the similarities of the two.
Is it? Okay. Okay. So you were inspired to get involved in music through your because your father was in music. Is that correct?
No, my grandfather, and then my
Your
whole
grandfather?
I can't even really. I mean, he's the backbone of it, but then my uncle, his son, was a drummer. You know, it just grew throughout the whole family.
I got you. I got you. Are they involved with your music now? Do they play with you or?
I've done a couple demo songs with my uncle on drums that were pretty neat. You know, back when I was DJing consistently and scratching and doing all that with the turntables. But I made a couple songs with him on drums, and I just scratch over what he would drum. But unfortunately, my grandfather passed, and I never got the chance to do a song with him. But you know, I definitely keep him and keep his wisdom in my music now. You know, because he was bluegrass, so I try to incorporate that and everything.
Oh, he was bluegrass. So you like a lot of different types of music, folk, and you mentioned like R&B, folk, and a whole lot of different things. What's your least favorite type of music?
I'd have to say country. And the reason for it, I know I'm turning a lot of heads right now because it's a very popular genre in the U.S., but the reason for it is just because I've given it so many chances. And it could have something to do with growing up in an area where it's, you know, very popular. That's like one of the main genres. But every time I gave it a listen, I always felt like depressed or something afterwards after hearing it. I feel like it brought me down so much. Like, it's rare that you'll hear an actual positive country song that like is like, oh wow, I feel great about my life right now. You know, so that was the main reason for it. And I never really had the connection with it like I did for most other genres.
I get you. So tell me, as a black person, when you say bluegrass, I'm thinking country. So what's the difference? What's bluegrass?
Bluegrass is, you know, that's a good question because a lot of people, I think, wonder that. You know, the country nowadays is a lot like more relatable to classic rock. You know, a lot of it is. I can't say all of it, but and that's, I guess that would be the difference now. You know, bluegrass has that kind of roots feel to it. It has that, you know, wooded area feel to it. You know, it's that organic feel, I guess you could say. Country is more of a mainstream, whole different format. You know, and and there's definitely a few different instruments that are incorporated more in bluegrass that are incorporated in country. You know, like not all country songs have a banjo, and a few others.
Okay, I got you. And I happen to like, I don't know why, but I guess I like the blues, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm attracted to it. It's kind of strange, but if I hear it, I can kind of get into that. I don't know what that's about, but you listen to Chicago's Black Business Radio Network. Hey, I'm open. Tell me one thing. What do you think about hip hop music today?
Hip hop today, I'm very opinionated, you know, but the thing, I just don't see it where, you know, like where it was, like the 90s hip hop, you know, was a great time, you know, and even going into the 2000s, it was awesome. You know, all these artists were evolving and becoming something, you know, it was talent. You saw a lot of talent, and I feel like today you don't see a lot of talent, you know, in production mainly you might, but and you know, the different artists, it's just lyrically they're not really giving it their all. I feel like there's no real flow. I mean, there's a few out there that are great, you know, like Kendrick Lamar. I think he's doing an amazing job right now. And obviously, I mean, like artists that have been in the industry forever, like Eminem or Jay-Z, you know, they're always doing great. But you know, a lot of it is that kind of trap scene now, and it's trying to blend into I guess it's categorized as Southern rap, I've heard it said before. I don't know if that's really the right term, but it's not as much talent as you used to hear, and that's kind of disappointing, and I feel like that's kind of why I ventured off into EDM a little bit more.
Okay. Now, you can't say it, but I can say it. I don't know what Jay-Z is saying, but Because maybe I'm not that generation, and maybe I have to listen a little bit more because I have listened to Tupac, and I had to stop listening to it. But because I would drive in the morning, I found some Tupac songs. I would drive in the morning with a cup of coffee, and I was already aggressive. By the time I got there, I was all strung out. I had to stop listening to this. But he was very good. He's hard to beat. He was very, very good, and that's my opinion of that. Now, I've heard some of this music they call hip-hop, and I'm like, did they really play that? What is that? What that is? It's really bad. Bad writing, bad everything. It's just bad. So is there a, you refer to your music as EDM. What is that?
It's electronic dance music. I mean, nowadays most clubs are playing EDM. You know, that's like the mainstream dance music, I guess you could say.
Okay, so they don't call that house music. That's a whole separate thing right there.
Well, I mean, it's so hard to say right now because genres are getting created every day. I mean, I never thought I'd hear the word trip hop, but now I'm hearing that as a genre, you know. So, I mean, it really, I think house is definitely still there. There's definitely clubs that play only house or mixed in. But I noticed a lot of people are trying to just say easily, oh, everything electronic is EDM, you know, just to make it easy.
I got you. And just one more question since we're having an education this morning. Dubstep. Would you tell us what that is?
Yeah, I mean, the genre itself was inspired off of drum and bass, which was an older genre, which still exists. But it was the tempo of it and everything was based off of reggae, the tempo of reggae, which could vary from 140 BPM to 70 BPM, depending on the production. But dubstep, it has a lot of bass, so whoever hasn't heard it, just get ready if you ever do listen to it, that you got to hold your ears in some instances because the bass is always loud. And it's great party music. It's great, I guess, party music now compared to, 20 years ago is 100% different. But nowadays, this is good country or party music. But, yeah, I would definitely say it's a very loud type of music is dubstep.
I got you. We'll blow your mind and your ears, huh? I got you.
Exactly.
I got it. Wow.
And like that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's very difficult to make too, and a lot of people don't give it a lot of credit for that. They think, oh wow, that's like it doesn't sound good at all or whatever, but it takes some people days to make the production for dubstep. It's very if it's a great dubstep song, there was a lot of talent involved.
Well, this is what we're going to do, Mazement. We're talking to Mazement this morning, and I'm just going to tell you the truth, Mazement. Most people can answer those questions. They might be out there stumping and spitting or whatever it is they do, and scratching, but I bet they couldn't answer. They couldn't define all those things I just asked you. So I like that in you, Mazement. What we're going to do right now is we're going to get another word from our sponsor. We're going to play your new song, Life, and you're going to come back and tell us about that, right?
Awesome. Sounds great.
Sounds great to me. Now, we're going to take a little break, people. Don't go anywhere, and we will be right back.
Friday night, live it up. Grab a bottle, then drink it up. Head to the club to get messed up. Dance all night till you had enough. It's your city, let's show them up. Sinking shots, never drinking cups. Doing it the very best you can, cause you're never gonna live this life again. This is the life, relax in the daytime, party all night. Grab a few friends, hold on tight. You only live once, better make it right. This is the life, relax in the daytime, party all night. Grab a few friends, hold on tight. You only live once, better make it right, yeah. is ticking, we don't wait. Be home tonight, yeah, probably late. Life is great, but it goes by fast. Loving every moment, cause it could be the last. This is the life, relax in the daytime, party all night. Grab a few friends, hold on tight. You only live once, better make it right. This is the life, relax in the daytime, party all night. Grab a few friends, hold on tight. You only live once, better make it right, yeah.
Let's welcome our guest back to the show, Mazement, artist and producer, and that's his song that you just heard, Life. Welcome back to the show, Mazement.
Hey.
Hey. Now, tell me, what triggered you to write the new single, Life?
Well, I definitely wanted to promote living life loosely and to the fullest, you know, and I felt like there are definitely there's a handful of songs out there that do it, but I wanted to do it in my own way just because I noticed things seemed a lot more stressful lately for a lot of people, so I definitely wanted to incorporate that in a song to kind of make a stress-free, dance song, a feel-good that could potentially be played in clubs.
Just having fun, in other words, just letting loose a little bit of the tension, just have a good time, and that's it, right?
Exactly.
I get you. I get it. Just enjoy it. Are people a little bit uptight in the clubs now? It seems like I'm hanging in a club. But anyway, are they just maybe a little bit uptight even when they get to the club, which the purpose is to enjoy yourself? Are they uptight? The purpose is to loosen up, but they seem a little uptight to me. I'm just looking at the films. What do you think about the club life?
I mean, it all depends. I haven't been in a club in a little while, but, I usually, when I do, it's in New York. And, I mean, I will tell you, for me, the hardest part, the most stressful part about going to the club is the outfit to pick out beforehand for most people is the hardest part. Everybody's got to have that outfit for the club that night, But I could say from what I've seen, it hasn't been too stressful. The environment's usually a lot of fun at the clubs that I've been to. But it could vary for different people.
That's great. That's great. Now, do you have any performances coming up soon?
Yeah, actually, next weekend I have a festival upstate in Dutchess County in the town of Millerton, New York. It's a music festival. I think it's like 50-plus bands or something like that, and I'll be there at 7 p.m., June 20th.
Is that 50-plus bands in one day?
Yeah, it goes from morning.
Wow.
I believe the number is 50-plus, last I heard, yeah, and it starts in the morning and ends late at night.
Wow, that's a big deal right there. Now, Mazement, we want to thank you for being with us, but we want to know just two things. Name one person you would love to work with, and then tell our listeners where they can find your music.
Awesome, yeah. So, who I'd like to work with? I mean, one influence I've always had was the group, kind of a random one. This is one of the many, but I mean, Outkast, Andre 3000, to me has always been a genius with music. I mean, the stuff that he would write and produce and what he would create, I would always just want to sit in the studio with him one time just to hear his thoughts and get his input, because he just seems like he has a great taste in music and he could definitely create, something amazing. My music online could be found on my website at www.mazement.co. And I'm also on Facebook if you do facebook.com/MazementMusic, twitter.com/MazementMusic, Reverb Nation. You can find me everywhere. I mean, those are just the basic ones. But
That's wonderful. Where did that name come from, Maze?
Well, that was actually DJing. Back when I was DJing, one of my teachers at one time, because I was trying to do different things like mixing Run DMC with Usher, with the latest Usher song or something like that. But the way I was scratching and stuff, he's like, "Oh, it's really unique how you're doing it." And then he said something about amazing, and I was like, "Huh, amazing." And I kind of evolved it myself into Mazement from that.
That's a good. It stands out, that name, because people, just
thanks.
Amazement. Well, let's see what's going on with that. It's a good name choice. That's what I think, and it's amazing that I know who Outkast is. All right, so sounds like a good choice. Sounds like a good choice to me. It is.
Awesome.
It's just amazing that I know that. But Amazement, I want to thank you very much, and I'm wishing you great success on that performance in a few weeks, and I'm wishing that you have many, many, many more, and I'm very grateful that you joined us today. Come back again, all right?
Thank you. Could I ask you one more question before you get off?
Yes, you may. Yes.
What did you think of that song?
I liked that song. I wasn't sure what song you were going to send me, but yeah, I liked that song. It was easy going. It was laid back, and I understand that it's for enjoyment. So I understood that part. So I did like that particular song. So you lucked up that time.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I knew it was a risk because I didn't really know your musical taste. So I was like, hey, I need an outsider's opinion. I need your opinion.
Thank you for being with us, Mazement, and thank everyone for listening.